I wanted to update you guys. As you can already tell, I did get my lips done. I just had a birthday trip to California and Las Vegas. I got 50 units all around of this port. This is what turning 30 does to you, by the way. So I'm like going through my midlife crisis, so don't judge me too harshly. So I got this port for the second time. It hasn't kicked in yet, so you're not seeing the results of that yet. And I got my lips tattooed. So this is what this video is about. Obviously, we're all concerned about like how much does it hurt. I asked the lady that did my lips how much it was gonna hurt. She told me it was gonna hurt more than my arm tattoo. That was a complete lie, because the numbing cream that she used, which by the way, when you get like body tattoos, at least from my experience, you don't get any numbing at all. This was like 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10 in this area. But the lips, because she used numbing cream and we waited like 20 minutes for it to kick in, honest to God, I didn't feel anything. It was a big tattoo machine gun and she used it all back and forth for like 2 hours. It was a 3-hour appointment, I'll get to that. But a whole bunch of passing over the same spots over and over again. Now, she did keep applying numbing throughout my session. I think it was like after every 15 minutes, she kept applying more numbing cream. So I guess that's the reason why I didn't feel anything at all. There is pain after the appointment, which I was not warned about. I was released from my appointment and 30 minutes later, I could feel the sensation of the needles as if they were still on my lips. It was starting to tingle. Nothing painful, just a little weird. And I was like, oh, whatever. I called my best friend. I was showing her how crazy my red lips look. And I was like wanting to hang up after like 10 minutes of talking to her, because minute by minute, the pain was getting worse and worse and worse. It was climbing half a point every minute, to the point where like I had to hang up with her. I'm like, I'll call you back. I think I fucked up. The pain went all the way up to a 10 out of 10. And I'm someone that gets lip filler. I get this port, have a high pain tolerance, basically. I don't remember what else I've done. But for me to say it's a 10 out of 10, you better not underestimate it. But the good news is this 10 out of 10 pain only lasts for 4 to 5 hours max. You might go into shock like I did if your numbing cream was that magical and you really felt nothing throughout your whole procedure. It's just going to be that more of a dramatic change from zero pain to feeling everything once it wears off. So I would say 30 minutes after my procedure, started feeling tingling. Within an hour, I felt a lot of pain, and it lasted for 4 to 5 hours, which afterwards I felt zero pain again. I was so happy. Zero pain, 10 out of 10 pain, zero pain. That's what you should expect if it's anything like my procedure. Now, every time I do my lip fillers with Juvederm, they always look so beautiful. And it took me a few times of doing my lip fillers to figure out that it wasn't even the fullness of the filler, but the sore red color that would fill my lips right after my procedure, which later on would wear down. And I would feel like my lip filler went away, but it's just that the color would fade away. This is what my lips looked like before. As you can see, like I think around the edges, it would just bleed into the color of my face. So no matter how much filler I would use, it would just always look very minimal results. It took me a long time to figure out it was the color that was missing. So hopefully this ends up perfect. How I chose the color, I literally grabbed an ice pack in the lip lady's office. Her name's Kristen, and I held it to my lips, and then it got that beautiful natural red glow just from being cold. And she took a picture of me right then and there in her office, and looking at the picture, she started mixing a custom color to match that end result that I was looking for. She did a great job in including me in the process. She showed me a mirror once she had like a fourth of the whole lip complete, and I'm glad she did that because it was looking a little light, and I understand that 60% of your end color right after the procedure is gonna go down. So 60% of the darkest reds that you see is gonna go away. So when I saw the color that she had put being the one that I want as my end result, we went a lot darker. That's something you really want to work closely with your tattoo artist to make sure that you're going much darker, specifically 60% darker than the end result that you do want to end up with. I did mine in Las Vegas. I'm gonna be completely honest, I am a Groupon junkie. I went on there, I go to Vegas all the time. I looked up Vegas in California, and Kristen had a lot of good reviews. I searched her on Google, I searched the address to look at the area, because you never know if it's like someone's house and it's a little sketchy, so I made sure it was that she was practicing in a clinic and not like in her garage or something. You just never know what you're gonna get yourself into. Always do your research. But she was such a sweetheart. I was so happy to have found her. The whole process did take 3 hours, which from looking at other videos on YouTube, it seems like that's everyone's experience. It can go from 2 to 4 hours. So mine was 3 hours. Today's day number 4, and most of the red has, not most of it, but a lot of it has fallen off towards the center because that's where your lips touch, smack the most. You can see there's a big gap there that peeled. A lot of the inside of the lips don't have any tints anymore. So honestly, I think I'm healing really well because I've seen other people's results and they get really bad. Maybe it's just that I'm not there yet. Today is day number 4, like I said. Some people, I've seen them with like yellow pus looking peeling situation that if I had seen that before getting this done, I might have not done it at all. So I think I could say I'm peeling very gracefully, but I do stay at home all day, every day. So I do have the luxury of not getting sunlight, which is highly recommended to stay away from. And I add my Aquaphor moisturizer like 10 times a day. Every time I eat, I clean my mouth with Cetaphil with a cotton pad and water, like just tapping it, because I feel like if I rub it, it's really gonna like peel off those little scabs that I have. I don't have scabs, but like the loose skin, I don't want it to like be brushed off, so I just gently pat it, and then you can see like the tint coming off each time. Which is another thing, be prepared if you're really gonna go forward with this procedure to have lip stains everywhere. So here's my pillow. This is just from last night, and that's like me trying not to do that. So I'm a messy sleeper, I move a lot. What else do I want to share with you guys? Obviously, ask all your questions in the comments and I will respond to them as soon as I can. Okay, the price. It was during one of those moments that Groupon had a discount code. I think it was like 20 or 25% off beauty activities. So it did come down to $299. No, it came down to $199, which I've noticed the typical price for lip blushing is $500 everywhere I've looked at. That's the regular price. So $199 was a hell of a deal. But I did leave a $50 tip because it was a great price. She did a great job, and I was really happy with the whole process. So here's the healing process. Day 1, lips very swollen. I get my lips done a lot with filler, so I didn't really notice, but I've seen other people on YouTube with their videos and their lips go from this to this. So it depends on you how much you're gonna swell up. But yes, expect swelling. Online, they're not going to tell you the 10 out of 10 pain when the numbing comes off that lasts for 4 hours. It's going to feel like shards of glass all over your mouth. I'm just being brutally honest. Day 2 to 3, Swelling should have gone down. The color should be darker than it was when you left your session, which is true in my case. It was a dark burgundy instead of a bright red as it is now again. Immediately after the treatment, like a day after. Day 3 to 4 is the flaky stage, which is what I'm in right now, but I feel like I'm flaking very minimal, so I don't know if it's going to come in more aggressively tomorrow or if I'm just going through it very gracefully, which I'm grateful for. Never peel off your scabs, so don't be picking, because I know that that's going to lift up the pigments in spots, and that's going to show in your end results apparently if you don't let it do it naturally. If it just falls off, it falls off and you're fine. That means it was ready to go, but don't be aggressively picking. Nope. Days 7 through 10 are the final healing days. Flakiness should start to subside after a week. At this point, the lip color should be 30 to 50% lighter than when you finished your session. I have been reading this a lot, that it's common for the color to kind of like disappear completely, and you're gonna feel like you didn't do anything, and then it just magically reappears. So like this website says, it'll disappear temporarily before returning a few weeks later. Essentially, the skin is thickening as it heals and briefly conceals the ink. Okay, so once you're healing, the skin is going to heal over your tattoo ink. That's interesting. And then it'll reveal again. Science. Or what is this? Biology? I don't know. It's crazy. After 4 to 6 weeks, the skin would have repaired itself and the color would have settled. The ink will then become visible again and your ideal lip shade will show through. So I've learned more that it's like 6 weeks. And a lot of times, and my tattoo artist said this herself, you're gonna have to go back for a retouching session because sometimes it's just not the right shade that you want, or it could be a little darker on one side than the other, and the second session will really perfect everything. And then day 56 through 60, 8 to 9 weeks, touch-up time. Yep, it's talking about it here. Around 8 weeks, you may need to have some color evened out, or you may need to lighten or neutralize your lip shade. When you see that online, if you guys are doing your own research outside of this video, when you keep hearing neutralize, that's like for people that have like a darker top lip than the bottom lip, or like blotchy, weird tones of colors all around. You will have to do a session just to prime, I like that word more than neutralize, your lips to be even, and then go in for the color that you're looking for. And then here we have aftercare long term. Keep away from the sun. Use a lip balm with SPF rating because you want these lips to last as long as possible. I know they're going to last from 2 to 3 years. So if you're always out in the sun, I wouldn't expect your lips to last much longer than like a year. And then someone like me that's indoors all the time, I'm expecting to go 3 or beyond with the end results. To conclude, painless procedure, healing process, extremely painful, but it only lasts 4 hours to 5 hours, which then afterwards you just have to deal with looking busted ugly and like a missed potato head. So what I do personally, I rock a COVID mask, a medical mask, and that's like socially acceptable now. It's not awkward at all. So I don't see any issue. If you're a man and that's what you're concerned about, like having these bright red lips before they go calm down, medical mask, they're going to be your best friend. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment box below and I will be sure to answer them as quickly as possible. Subscribe if you haven't already. You never know what I'm going to be sharing on here. I'm in the process of moving to a new state again. Not sure which 100%. Just expect a whole lot to come after this. So subscribe to stay tuned. Leave a like if you found any of this information helpful. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a great day, everyone. Mwah. Look how I have to do this. Mwah. I can't. Oh, good timing. Okay, bye.